Good, yeah, doing good.
And for our viewers at home, we are still in the midst of our first dive of this expedition, or this leg of the expedition rather, here off of Kingman Reef, the Pacific Remote Islands Marine National Monument. We've got, lots more dives coming up throughout the next about week and a half, so stay tuned. You can check on Twitter to make sure you're getting all those dive alerts. We'll be at the bottom for a few more hours now, and hopefully diving again in the next couple days, so stay tuned.
We'll be diving again tomorrow.
Diving again tomorrow, look at that.
Would you ask for the iris to be lower?
Probably tomorrow night.
Right.
You can do that now, but yeah.
Tomorrow
yeah, ask him if he
evening.
wants something.
I wanted to see what you would do. Just checking.
Sorry, I got distracted. I was looking
Yeah.
at the sunset, actually, on the cam aft.
Ooh.
You caught it. You caught it.
Bridge nav. One more step, please.
Hey, lift up a little bit.
If you check out the quad view, you can see that sunset that was distracting our friend Steve here.
Sorry.
It's beautiful.
On the 4 to 8 watch, I don't think we're going to get to see many sunrises or sunsets.
Yeah. But that's okay.
That's okay.
because we're doing what we do down here on the seafloor.
Absolutely.
This morning we should, if
That's
we're
true.
ETA back on deck at
Sure.
0400 local.
That's true.
Yep.
Hey, Kevin, are these manganese nodules that we're seeing here?
They look like it.
Shut it off.
And we're on a flat plane, so most likely yes. And basically in this area of the seamount, if you go to the west or to the east, the seafloor there, the really deep seafloor, is loaded with manganese nodules.
So how do the nodules form?
You can do it from
Are
outside.
they like around other bits of debris that they start accumulating on?
Exactly. If any one of these nodules, if you cut them open, there'll be something inside, some rock or a chunk of like
Some little surprise.
liquefied sediment. Yes, exactly. And then they kind of grow similar to how the crust grows on the seamount, where you have this hydrogenetic, where you're pulling iron oxides and manganese oxides out of the seawater. And since they're, positively and negatively charged, they kind of aggregate together. But you also get, for nodules, diagenic, which is you have water filtering through the pores in the sediment, and it picks up certain elements.
It's an ideal little patch to do it in. It's too bad we couldn't get more time.
And then it also, deposits iron manganese from those pore waters as well.
Very cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Looks like we're seeing some stalked crinoids and some unstocked crinoids.
Yeah, so now we're off of that post-erosional cone, and we're back onto the guyot.
And a guyot, that's a seamount that was once exposed and has now been lowered.
Yeah, and as it
correct?
lowers,
That's right.
wave
yes,
erosion
practice
kind of
doing
makes
these
it
little
flat.
Things too. So that's all. It's good practice flying around things.
Bridge nav. One more step, please.
Great. Come up a little bit. Try and keep it like I'd say shoot for 2 to 4 meters.
And we are seeing crinoids and corals down here, but those couple, the yellow and the red colored things that we saw just a few seconds ago, those were stocked crinoids.
Probably look up a little bit with that camera too. I think that's pointed down a bit much. There you go. Harder to see your altitude, but it's easier to get a better idea what's ahead of you.
And then the crinoids that we're referring to are also sometimes called feather stars for their feathery, floofy appearance. Floofy is a very technical term.
Quick question about the manganese nodules. When I was first learning about them, I feel like I remember something about if they get covered in sediment, they've been found actually to raise to the top of them. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, there's some people who have argued that you don't bury these ever, and they judge that for a few reasons. One, they're really old, so they formed for so long that they're older than the sediment that's currently they're on top of. And two, in sediment cores, you tend not to find them at depths. You can, however, find them at depths, so it is possible. But for the most part, they seem to roll around and avoid being buried. Like if you do take a sediment core here, you typically won't find manganese nodules throughout the core.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We've also got some folks wondering, would you be able to, like, if when you slice something like these manganese nodules, can you see kind of rings of growth as it accumulates?
Yeah, you should Google it. It's really cool. So,
Cool.
Often they form nice little rings. And sometimes you can get little bits of sediment mixed in with the surface of the nodule, and then it'll grow over that. So you can see little bits of differential coloring, some clays and some carbonates and phosphorite mixed in.
Cool.
Video, you want to zoom on that shrimp?
Yeah, let's go after them.
Or not. Okay, well, I'll see you later.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
have time and you see a little guy like that, better than zooming on him if the back row's not calling for anything. You just fly up to it as if you're imaging it. It's
Okay.
easier for you to fly the further back the camera is anyway. So yeah, you can just, if you have time and you have scope, wait, you can just practice.
And to my friend who's writing in about ocean plastics, we did talk about that a little bit earlier. We haven't seen any on this dive actually, which is pretty awesome. But Nautilus has seen ocean plastics in pretty much almost every area that has been explored. Allison, is there like a average figure that we have for how much we've seen in dives of the past couple years?
I don't know the averages off the top of my head, but we do log it. We have a what do we call it? Trash debris. Every time we see something that is trash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're-
and that
we're-
goes into a separate part of our log. Occasionally, a scientist will gather all of those and compile them, but I don't know the results of those.
Kind of depends on where we are
Bridge
too.
nav.
Like when we were in the Caribbean, and in a lot of
Almost at
areas
this.
where cruise ships frequent, we were seeing quite a bit.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
things kind of flying off straws, solo cups, that kind of thing. And then getting hung up in currents on things that would block them from flowing with the currents.
Yeah.
Looks like there's a steep edge coming up where the nodules mostly
Yeah.
stop, or at least greatly decrease in size beyond there. It's interesting.
Looks like
Yeah.
you got some sand waves in there too, so maybe that's
I'm gonna
current
reset
related.
DVL
Yeah,
if you're
deep
good
sea
with that.
current.
I'm good with that.
Reset.
Copy that.
It's a pretty abrupt stop. That's cool.
It's very interesting.
Wow, yeah.
Trace this a little bit.
See some rippling in the sediment too.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good indicator that there's pretty strong currents ripping through there, which could be cutting that edge.
Seems strange that it happens to end in such a almost perfect line like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's essentially a river.
Huh.
Wow, look at that. If you check out the view from Argus Cam at home, you can see this really distinct line that we're talking about.
It's that time.
You're going to hear some shuffling around here in the control van as we hand off watch to our next team. But thanks everybody that's watching along. It's been awesome talking with you and answering your questions. And we'll still be answering your questions during this next shift.
Thanks, Al. Catch you later.
Bridge nav.
I take really good vitamins, you know.
Trevor forgot about whatever he wanted there.
One more step, please.
We can.
Oh, here he comes. Trevor.
Control van, winch room.
video doing a watch change.
Hey everybody, watch handover happening slowly but surely here. Setting the 4 to 8 team out for the evening, 8 to 12 showing up. So a few more minutes of quiet as the teams hand over while we're in the middle of this, let's see, about 28-hour dive.
That's for me. Sorry.
Awesome. We're in such a different spot than we were 12 hours ago, taking over the watch. This is amazing. Totally different spot on the seamount.
Trevor,
Hello.
don't spin.
What?
Go directly at the bottom of the frame. Can you see that?
Coral, yeah.
No, is that what that is?
The spinny wiggly
Long
bit?
loopy coral.
Oh, okay. It's a shadow. I see.
Was there a request for a zoom on that or something?
No, 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 no. It just looked more interesting than it is because of its shadow.
Roger. Not interesting.
It's just a...
Just another coral.
Just
a black
long
coral. We see you, black coral.
Let me get lined up again here.
All right, science. Are we're gonna ride the cliff again?
Yeah, let's keep doing that.
Roger.
So we're approaching it now, and then when we get there, we'll settle
I'll
out.
keep going, and
cool.
You stay behind.
Sounds gravy.
Rob, do you want to give us a little update about where we are in the plan and what we're going to try and accomplish in the next 4 hours?
Yeah, sure. We just came down off the parasitic cone, and looks like we're in a big field of manganese nodules and ripples. And we're going to continue to proceed to the northeast along the edge of the scarp and work our way up to, looks like there's a carbonate platform near the top. And so we'll probably continue that until midnight, and then probably a little after that, the next watch will decide when to come to the surface. But looks like all of our rock sampling is done. And we've only fired one Niskin bottle, so we can find an area of a large number of coral and or sponge, or we can do a get downstream and fire another bottle or two.
Fantastic. Are we on biological sampling also? Our bio box is full, Suna?
Our bio boxes are full.
Okay.
We still have the slurps.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the slurps?
All the slurps.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Steve said he could be happy to take a couple of those.
You're off in the rhubarb.
Get out of here. I'm right in line.
You're off in the rhubarb.
Yeah.
I mean, he's coming with me one way or the other.
Are we going this way?
Yeah, 065.
It's not bad. Not bad. I was way over here before.
Trevor, can I steal a bubble?
Yeah, please do.
I feel like rhubarb is a food that I would have expected to appear on Nautilus at some point in some form, and it hasn't.
I've never seen it on here, yeah.
Yeah. It just seems like something that's like just out there enough that it would be here.
Rhubarb. Rhubarb pie is delicious.
Oh, is that an urchin? Little black urchin in the lower right corner?
Lower right corner,
Pretending
I see
to
it
be
there.
a manganese nodule?
Why don't we, can we come full wide, Wayne?
Yeah.
What's my camera angle here? Oh, I'm all...
It's above
All
the Fenari cam now. Oh, no, it's off the screen. Yeah, it's interesting. The crinoids are kind of showing current flowing orthogonal to the ripples here. Or the flow that I expected for the water flow for the ripples.
Yeah.
Whenever it's a
Okay, Wayne,
tidal
you can zoom in.
component.
It's pretty far away.
All the way?
Sure, yeah. Let's get that little black urchin-y thing. Potentially.
It might be just a manganese nodule.
It might be just a nodule.
I've led you astray, friends.
All right, come wide, please. Get pulled.
Coming wide.
Yeah, that
That's
looks
so
like a
interesting.
black coral.
So how
Wayne, you can
fast
iris
is-
down a bit.
Okay.
That's better, yeah.
Rob, how fast does the current have to be going to change the ripples from being perpendicular to the water flow to going with the water flow?
I'm not sure, but it's pretty fast. I can't remember. There's an old table in a textbook I remember.
Is that the only switch, or do they start to make other shapes at like ultra fast speed?
Yeah, there are different ones. You can actually get, I mean, a lot like sand dunes. You get ones that have a bar can kind of shape. You can actually have ones that migrate instead of downslope. They can actually migrate back upslope.
Okay.
So you can actually look at the profile to tell typically what the motion is. So these look like they're moving off to the upper right on this screen. That'd be the general current, which looks like to be the northeast.
So keep your questions coming in here on Nautilus Live. Good one right here. How long are we in the control van for? And that is 4 hours. 8 hours a day, but into 4-hour chunks. So we're the 8 to 12 team. If you want to refresh your browser, you can see all of the faces and names of folks who are on this team. You can connect them together with the voices. And then we have 3 teams that rotate throughout the day covering our ops. This particular dive is going to end up being about 28 hours long, somewhere in that ballpark. So the great thing is our team can stay fresh and rested and have a chance to eat snacks and recaffeinate by working the rotating 4-8 schedule.
Bridge nav, another step.
Yeah, some ships do 6, some do 8-hour days, just straight through in one chunk. There's a whole variety of watch schedules. When I first went to sea, I was on a sail training vessel, and you only had the same schedule every 3 days because they were rotating 3 teams through a 5-watch schedule, which was hard to get used to.
What?
Mm-hmm.
How did that work?
There were 3 day shifts and 2 night shifts, so every 3rd night you got to sleep a whole night.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it was just an effort to keep with like a fairly large community to train lots of people on sort of all of the roles. You need to keep giving people opportunities to do everything so they don't kind of lose any of it or start to specialize when you want a crew that are really equally excellent at different things. But you also had people who woke you up for watch. It was part of the responsibilities is you'd wake up your relief because people's regular sleep schedules wouldn't really kick in the way you'd expect.
Can I zoom in on Argus? With Argus?
You good with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Zoom in.
Yep. Zooming in. I think it looks kind of cool with the ripples.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
That texture is really cool.
So Wayne will ask you to make sure you're happy with your tether management. So if you're looking at that, then you can tell him to wait, but in general, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like a fingerprint.
Mm-hmm.
Are we trying to get to the edge of the ridge?
That's the dream, Suna. That's the dream.
Oh.
Bridge nav, another step.
Suna, do you have an instrument that has the water temperature at the surface? Do you have any
The
read
surface?
Yeah, do you have any read on that?
I got that.
You have that, Miles?
I have that. It's actually.
Tell me.
It's actually on the
Thing.
call it the data display thingamajig.
Yes. That's exactly the thingamajig I want.
Uh-oh.
Not found.
There is no temperature.
You looking at the HYPACK screen?
We're having trouble finding that site.
If it's on the Nautilus.
Apparently the ship is down.
Roger.
Trevor, is that zoom worthy?
The little fluffy bit in front of Herc?
Yep.
That's a good question for science.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, go ahead, Wayne.
Okay.
I'm going to mess you up by tilting down a bit.
Yep.
Means I can get a little closer.
Oh, is that another of these precious corals? What was it, Metallogorgia?
Yeah,
Megan?
that looks like Metallogorgia.
One of the few we can identify.
I know, I'm ready now. I have the guide. Are you looking for the data monitor?
I am.
Miles? I've got it here.
Okay, it should be under.
Yeah. I'd forgotten I can get to that.
Sounds, the sound velocity.
All right, come wide, Wayne.
Coming wide.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you come wide on Argus too?
Coming wide.
Does it work for you?
Yeah, I went in through Nautilus OET, then through Science, then through. I couldn't go directly there.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, that's good there.
Alrighty.
Pretty much as good as long as the weight's not blasting us.
Right.
Oh wait, I think I have it. No.
Yeah, it looks like
surface
right about
speed
20.
Can I bubble in preset 4, please?
Yes, 29.
29?
84.
But that seems a bit too high, isn't it?
That seems really hot.
That the water could be 84?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too high.
Yeah.
It's not 84.
Wait, Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit.
84 Celsius.
Yeah.
Check, that is not right.
It's saying, yeah, we've got the.
But 29 Celsius is also too high.
Yes.
We're reading air temperature
We can
at
get
29.
front view again, thanks.
That sounds like air temperature to me.
Bridge nav, another step.
Tim, I feel like you'd know this. What is the regular water temperature in this part of the world?
80, 82 degrees Fahrenheit.
And in American Samoa, it can be even warmer, right?
Yeah, in American Samoa, it's usually 82 degrees during the summertime, well, wintertime, and yeah, 82, 84 degrees during the summer.
That's so amazing.
Sometimes even higher. If you're inshore, it can get really hot, so you're sweating in the water.
Wow.
So we're approaching the edge of the cliff now.
It's good.
Let's just do a fun thing here. All right.
Yeah, so maybe a little high that we're reading 29C 84, but
fun.
Somewhere in that ballpark.
I mean, I hope.
We're
assuming
that's
Wow, we're gonna fall.
Do you think robots get vertigo?
I just closed the iris. For added drama.
That's great.
What are we looking at? I mean, that's hundreds of meters down, right?
It's enough that I can't tell how far it is.
That's good.
And we've lost Doppler lock.
Yep.
That's
30,
a nice
30
Argus
meters?
shot.
Yeah.
It goes between 16 to 30 to infinite. Infinite meters. The journey to the center of the Earth.
How deep can the Doppler read?
If it's above flat bottom, perfectly flat, hard bottom, you can see it at about 100 meters. But in general, we see it at about 70 in general operating procedure. But if it's on a cliff face like this, it's hard to know because a couple of beams will hit right in front of you, on the cliff in front of you, and the other beams will go off into the abyss, and you won't have any reading at all. So, hard to know.
This is so beautiful. This like scalloped edge right here. Fish in Argus. Great fish.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to follow this ridge line along?
Yeah, let's
Is
keep
that the-
going.
That's the MO.
A lot of crinoids
Those
down here.
corals or crinoids?
Mm-hmm.
Crinoids, they look like, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
So Rob, is there regular, geometry that basalt breaks into? Like, does it usually fracture at certain angles? And then same question for, carbonate crusts. These seem to be all kinds of different fractures, and can it just be wherever the weak point is, or is there something more specific about how?
Well, for basalt, it's good to be just whatever it is.
Okay.
I mean, there's no real preference. I mean, the flows come out pretty much horizontal.
Wayne, let's image the sponge. Go ahead and zoom.
And
Okay,
so,
zooming in.
It's not going to have any sort of vertical preference.
Okay.
Limestone, I'm not so sure either. But, I mean, at least with the basalt, what happens is it's a lot of different flows and stuff, so it can be very irregular.
Mm-hmm.
And limestone might be a little more flatter.
Okay.
But with this reef structure, I'm not really sure.
It's such an unusual shape. It almost looks like part of it got munched off or broken off or something.
Yeah, maybe. Huh.
Okay, coming wide.
All right.
Interesting. Also throw this one to you, Rob. Question came in, how active is this area geologically at the moment?
If you're talking about tectonically,
Mhm.
it's not very active. It's pretty dead. And volcanically, it's probably not very active either. Sediment-wise, it's very active. I mean, there's a lot of sedimentation coming down, and you can see all the currents and ripples here. And on this platform that we're on the east side of this platform, or on the west side, or on the east side, we're on the west side right now. And on the east side, there are other seamounts as well, and it creates a little basin. And when you look at the maps, it actually looks like a river channel with all the sediments going out.
Hmm.
So it's very dynamic sediment-wise. And there are also some really large, 10 to 25 meter high sand waves in the middle too.
Interesting.
Those are some pretty big sand waves.
Yeah, they're very big.
Yeah. Wow.
We might be able to brighten that up a bit. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, there's a coral down there.
Are you able to see it on your little, I don't know how your little graphy thing works in the bottom right of your screen? Does that help with the irising at all?
Yes,
Or?
yes,
Okay.
it does.
Too excited. Going too far.
Are we too far to zoom in on this coral?
Give it about 30 seconds and we'll be there.
30?
I know.
Okay, I've underestimated something about printing off the coral guide back up here. I have a red light, for our great low light vision, but it changes all the colors on all the guide pictures.
If you turn the light up brighter, it goes white.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. No.
I'm afraid.
No one look over here.
Bright light, bright light.
We might need the ship a little closer. Not for this specific thing, but for the wall in general.
Yeah. I was worried about that. It's gonna creep out to the east anyway.
Sure, sure. I lied to you soon. It's going to be longer than 30 seconds.
Liar.
Looks like it kind of derm up top there.
In the meantime, let's
yeah,
look at this.
urchin. Oh,
Okay.
looks like a sponge.
Okay, Wayne, you can zoom in on this, please.
Zoom in.
And
Brittle stars.
an urchin.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Look at those nodules.
Oop. Ooh, and I gotta go. Come wide, please.
Coming wide. Full wide.
Thank you.
A little more iris.
This might be one of my favorite seamounts we've dove on. It's just so striking.
Do they have any more issues with that?
I haven't heard anything. So, no.
Bridge nav, one more step due west.
Okay, team, let's say you two introductions while we wait for the ship move. Good enthusiasm. We're going for it. Okay. Name, what seat you're in. How about hometown and what you wanted to be, what you thought you wanted to be when you grew up, you know? Like, I mean, if you're a kid, what you thought you'd be when you grew up. I'm calling Suna first.
Okay. My name is Suna. I keep forgetting. I'm from Turkey. I live in Istanbul. I am in the data logger seat for this watch. And I thought I wanted to be a scuba diver. I thought like this, that was like a something to be.
Are you scuba certified?
I am, but I thought I could just be that and
Just
do that
scuba
as a job. So yeah, I just wanted to be a diver.
You can still be a diver.
I am a diver, but I thought that could be my whole life. Like
yeah. So you knew the ocean thing was, you're on the path.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
I'm Tim, and I'm the Marine or the Resource Monitor for Fish and Wildlife Service. I'm in the lead scientist chair, and hometown is Hawaii. And I wanted to be a marine biologist when I grew up.
Nice. Success.
This is Rob Piccolini. I'm in the watch leader seat. My hometown is the metropolis of Portville, New York, population 1,003. And I want to be a marine biologist as well. But then I took a course and saw the number of people getting jobs as marine biologists versus marine geophysics. Very easily decision.
Was that college?
Yes, it was.
Nice. Is that your job? I mean, I know your job title is professor now, but when you describe it, marine geophysicist, is that?
Yeah, that's probably the best thing I do.
Okay.
I mean, that's marine geophysics. But, I study atmospheric processes, critters in the deep biosphere, and just about anything where you need numbers and data analysis.
Awesome. Mr. Saunders?
Miles Saunders. I nominally live in Seattle, and I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up.
Totally fair.
Yep. Good answer. Still figuring it out.
Did you have any? Did you have any initial ideas?
Oh, it ranged from everything from astronaut to farmhand.
Okay.
Well, this is a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Control rooms and water tractors.
And plowing the seas.
What was the question?
It's introductions. Who are you?
Who are you?
I know that
Hard one.
Wait, hold on, let me check my notes.
First name, last name, social security number. No.
I'm Trevor Shepard. Social security number, Canadian. We don't have social security numbers. Tricked you. Yeah.
Hometown?
Hometown, Victoria, BC.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Or someday when we grow up.
I don't know if I ever want to grow up.
Okay. deep philosophical angle.
Peter Pan. I don't know, this is pretty cool. Keep doing this for now.
Did young Trevor want to do this?
No, young Trevor did not want to do this.
Okay.
Young Trevor didn't know what he wanted to do.
Okay.
He tried everything, and then this was the most fun. I haven't found anything more fun yet, so.
Fair.
I don't know, I didn't make it to be an astronaut, so here I am. Similar to Miles.
Do you think you want to head back west, or you want to head up and sort of meet it?
I could be convinced either way. Okay, you're up.
Oh yeah. My name is
What
Jake
do you want to
Bonney.
use?
Yeah.
I am from Barrington, Rhode Island, East Coast. Small little town in a small little state. And what did I want to be when I grew up? Still growing up. Anything from, Tom Brady to
Oh no!
an astronaut.
Oh no! We were on track to be such good friends. Oh no!
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? That was like the first time I really heard Rhode Island speak out of your voice. What are you gonna do?
All right. Well, I'll jump right in then. My name is Wayne Borneo. Hometown is Slidell, Louisiana. It's a suburb of New Orleans. When I was younger, I wanted to be a research physicist.
Oh, okay.
Plan B was to stay 13 the rest of my life, and Plan B won.
What was it about being a research physicist that piqued your interest?
It was difficult.
Okay.
And challenging, and I got my Bachelor of Science in Physics.
So?
But wasn't accepted to my graduate school of choice.
Okay.
So I entered the workforce and paid off my student loans in the computer industry.
Okay.
And stayed 13 the rest of my life.
There you go. I like it.
Looks like there's an anemone there.
Yeah, big anemone.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Don't know if I can get much closer right now, but
Yeah.
we can stretch out.
I can get us closer.
Stretch. Go ahead, Wayne.
Let us get closer.
Enhance.
Tracking beam engaged.
These are so cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. The current is going up this hill, up the slope
Yeah.
here.
Very interesting. I wonder if it caught something. Sort of seeing all those tentacles collapsed into the mouth right there. Yeah. That's how each tentacle.
Be fun.
We're anemones and jellyfish sting.
Right,
they
wide.
actually have
Coming wide.
The little. If you look down at,
I was trying to see, but
yeah, if you were to look at it through a microscope, you'd actually see that the stingers, the barbs that come out of anemones and jellyfish, actually look like little harpoons. They actually look like barbs, and so at a very micro level, you're actually like stabbing onto your food and holding it, and then pulling it to your mouth, which looks like what those tentacles are doing.
like centipede legs with hooks.
Yeah.
Interesting lava flows and pillows here in the outcrop here.
Yeah. What's catching your eye?
It looks like they have what they call lobate flows, where the kind of pillows are kind of squished down. See, just below the lasers right now.
Below the lasers.
No, I'm just saying there's just a rock feature there.
Yeah, okay.
There's a fish down the bottom there.
There's a fish. Hey, let's go for a zoom on that. Go ahead, Wayne.
All right, his 15 minutes of fame start now.
Don't run. Just accept it. We want to be your friend.
We won't hurt you.
Oh.
Ouch.
Bam.
You blinded him.
What is?
I don't know.
That are just rat tail or cusk?
Is that a cusk eel?
What did the fish say when he ran into the wall?
How?
Damn.
Oh.
Is that a green holothurian or a bottle?
Looks like a, yeah, maybe a
Or
piece
a-
of dead sponge
Or a
column.
tunicate, yeah.
Less iris.
Less.
So interesting.
Okay, come wide, please.
Okay, coming wide.
Bridge
wanna say
nav, another
cusk
step.
Full wide.
Yeah, don't the cusk eels have little barbels on their chin?
I think they do.
All right, I'm gonna go up the wall a little bit now.
Yep.
It's like, I don't think that's a snailfish. They're too swimming, but. Help us, Steve.
Little pink thing.
Reacquire the top of this little guy and
Bridge nav,
There it
hold
is.
position. Let's turn to due north, 000. Thank you.
I feel like we find the most goodies on the slight overhang. So like this little one right here, just underneath this slight overhang, we got some life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that due to the fact that the current seems to be going up the slope?
Wonder if it's also protecting them from things coming down the slope.
Oh, could be too, yeah. Okay, Wayne, could you zoom in on the base of this coral, please?
Mm-hmm.
Nice and in tight. And I'm gonna walk up it.
How's that?
That's great, perfect.
Looks like
What's
a
your call,
bamboo
Megan?
coral.
What's your call?
Just because of the knot, I want to say bamboo coral.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, that black band right there.
Center it up,
I
Trevor.
concur.
Never-ending bubble.
Lovely.
Wow.
All right, come wide.
Coming wide.
Bridge nav, 20 meters, bearing 020.
Looks like there's a little ledge here. I've seen it in Argus view, but let's take a look in Herc's cam too. Just a ledge. All right, coming back up.
Yeah, surprised there aren't many of the fan-shaped corals we saw earlier today.
Yeah, not yet.
Another fish.
This is a very happy Argus spot. What's this little fish? Trying to hide from me. Come back, buddy. Okay, Wayne, go ahead. Zoom in.
Is that the same fish?
It's not. It has different pectoral fins. The other one had 2 lobes and one was really sharp and pointy.
This has things hanging off his chin too.
Drop.
Mm-hmm.
Boop. Scared him.
Great view, though.
Bridge nav, another step.
Okay, coming wide.
Perfect. It's nice being able to see the top of the ridge because it's all like sedimenty. You get that real good color distinction. Really helps me know where I am.
coral there.
Yeah, let's take a look at that thing. I get that. Okay, Wayne, go
Pushing
ahead.
in.
Bubblegum looking.
I don't know if that's bubble gum.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder what flavor it is.
That looks like chewed up bubble gum.
Yeah, it could be.
Used.
No.
That's the worst flavor of bubblegum. All right, that's enough.
Yeah, it looks a little different, hey?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
Coming
a
wide.
Paragorgia, maybe? No, that doesn't look quite right. Actually, yeah. Paragorgia, maybe.
What's this thing?
I don't know what
Or
that
are
is.
these spots or something? Can you zoom in on the spots there?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's see.
What do we see in there?
Oh, they're the little
hydroids.
tiny mushroom corals.
Why are they all
Or
grouped
maybe
together?
anemones? Oh, wait, I saw
wow.
this.
Those are tiny. I can go further.
They sure like that rock though.
I'll say, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the rock. It's an expensive neighborhood of town.
The high rent.
High rent, yeah. But look at the
Yeah.
view.
Stoloniferous octocorals. Yeah.
Stoniferous, you say?
Stoloniferous octocorals. Yeah, they're mushroom corals in that same family, but itty bitty tiny ones.
They look almost linearly distributed, like they might just bud off and form new ones.